Hey everyone, sorry for being a few minutes late. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Instagram wasn't letting me go live, but I'm waiting for you guys to join me. I am so excited to talk to you guys this morning. It has been a while. I see some of you coming in. Hey Mega, good to see you. Hi Kyle Stuff from Malaysia. Good to see you as well. Hello everyone. It is good to see you all. I'm going to set up my camera right in front of me. As you're coming in, say hello. Let us know where you are watching from. I am so excited to see everyone here. Now, I just want to let you guys know that we have a very special guest that is going to be joining us this morning. It has honestly been almost 4 or 5 months since I've done an Instagram live. And you know, the fact that I'm coming on this morning is proof that we have a special topic to go over and that I have a special guest. So you guys are awesome. I see Iran, Pakistan, Natasha coming in. What's up, Natasha? Hello from Russia. Good to see you. From Turkey, Jamaica. Yes, Aki and Saltfish. I know you. Good to see you guys here. Dominican Republic, Morocco. Man, it is so good to see you all here. Now, I'm going to invite my friend Julie. Julie is an awesome English teacher, and she and we're going to be having a discussion, and you guys are going to be participants. We're going to talk a lot about English, and one of the main focuses is English vocabulary. So please stay around. I'm going to ask you guys to ask us questions throughout, but I am so excited to see you all here. So I am going to invite someone. I'm going to invite her. Hold on one second, guys. Let me invite Teacher Julie. Hold on one second. Yes, as you're coming in, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you're doing. And we are going to jump right into today's Instagram Live. Talk to me, guys, where you're watching from. How are you doing this morning? Let's see. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right, Morocco. I see Morocco. Yes, good to see you here. I think Japan is in the house. Good to see you. Turkey. Excellent. Alex from Chile. All right, guys, as I'm getting it set up and I'm contacting Teacher Julie so that she can join me for this live, can you guys let me know? Tell me something interesting you learned this week. Tell me something interesting you learned this week. All right. Here we go. Julie is coming in. She'll be joining us very soon. Here we go. I think she's coming in right now. Yes. Teacher Julie, how are you?
Some technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. I was just talking to the students that are coming in. I was also having technical difficulties, so you're okay. How are you doing this morning?
Good. Hi, guys. It's my first live ever, so I'm excited, a little nervous.
Don't worry, they're good. Usually, I used to do a lot of these in the past, and yeah, they're just fun. Students are able to kind of say hello, and I don't know if you see in the comments they're coming in saying,
yeah. So many people from everywhere. It's amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah. All right, so guys, I want to start off because you guys have probably never seen Teacher Julie on my page before, but I've known her for several weeks now, and we're actually partnering to create some great courses and memberships for you all. But I kind of wanted to get an opportunity to introduce you, Julie. So Julie, can you tell the students who you are, a little bit about yourself?
Yes. So hi guys again, for all of you who are joining. I am Julie. I am from Canada. I'm a teacher from Canada, but I live in Dubai now, so I'm here in the UAE. I have been teaching for 10 years, like Tiffany. 10 years is a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good stuff. I see a lot of the students in the comments saying, hey Julie, hi Teacher Julie, how are you? Guys, in the comment section, so Julie said that she actually is in Dubai right now. Excuse me. So if anybody is living in Dubai right now, please say hello, say I'm in Dubai, so you guys can let her know that you actually are living there too. All right. So Julie, I wanted to kind of start off. So again, like we got in contact with each other via Instagram, actually. I posted something asking if anyone wanted to be on my podcast, and you said yes, and I was very happy that you decided to come on. So let me ask this question. What is your teaching philosophy as a teacher? You know, we're English teachers. We've been English teachers for more than 10 years. What is your English teaching philosophy?
Um, so my teaching philosophy is I think that, especially for adults, I think that learning should not be a chore. I think it should be
Yeah.
enjoyable because now people are choosing to learn, first of all, so it
Yeah.
should be fun.
Yeah.
And I think that it should be practical, it should be actually useful, and you should learn things that you're going to use in your life. So that's kind of
Yeah.
it in a nutshell, yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think that's again why I was so excited for us to work together because I also believe that's true. So, students, as you're watching, I know some of you said, wow, great energy. Yeah, we enjoy talking to each other and we both are passionate about teaching. But, like you said, Julie, practical and also being able to have fun while you're learning English. So, that's something that I also try to encourage students as well to remember to have fun and to also follow practical advice too. Um, so today I kind of wanted to talk about vocabulary specifically. And students in the comment section, if you guys can let us know, like me and Julie are having the conversation, but our goal is to help you all learn English vocabulary. So in the comment section, guys, can you let us know what are your biggest struggles with studying and learning English vocabulary? And as you guys are, oh, someone asked in a nutshell. All right, in a nutshell just means overall, like in
Yeah.
general, overall. We say in a nutshell. Great question.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, in the comment section, can you guys let us know why is it so hard to learn English vocabulary? Or what struggles do you all experience learning English vocabulary? And as you guys are typing, we'll kind of discuss that. But Julie, how about you? In your time as a teacher, what have you noticed have been some things students have struggled with in relation to vocabulary?
I think that students have struggled with expanding their vocabulary. So I think a lot of people learn kind of like a bank of words and they use
Yeah,
the same words again and again and again.
yeah,
So I think this is one big thing. And also learning idioms and expressions and phrasal verbs because they don't translate. So when people hear them, like in a nutshell, for example,
yeah,
so this means in short, but if you translate in a nutshell, it will literally translate to like the shell of a peanut. So I
yeah.
think that idioms is a really big thing and just kind of like expanding your vocabulary to not repeat yourself all of the time.
That's a great point. I've had so many students in the past who have said, teacher, I said the same thing over and over again or use the same expressions. I experienced that same difficulty too. When I was learning Korean, I was using the same expressions over and over and over again. So one student came through FB36000 says, I forget words too soon. So yeah, I think that's another difficulty as well, forgetting words. When it comes to forgetting and or trying to remember vocabulary words, I think you kind of touched on this point when you said about repetition. The reason students use the same words over and over again is because they get used to them over and over again, so it becomes like second nature. So how about you when you're thinking about how to help students not forget words? Have you used any special things in the past to help them?
I think the point about forgetting words is because you're not using them. So I think with any skill that you're not using, you're going to forget, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with everything. So I in classes I create situations where students can actually use what they've learned, and like I think this is important because, like the things that you learn, if they just stay in your head and then you never use them or you never say them, it's like they're in your head for a little bit of time and then they disappear. So it's important to like learn things that you can actually use in your life and then make situations for yourself or create opportunities for yourself where you can practice. Otherwise, yeah, you'll forget. So
That's a good point. I like that. I remember I've tried to use that same theory when I was teaching one of the YouTube lessons, teaching students about vocabulary. It's so important to, like you mentioned, make the words practical, apply them to your life. So when you learn a new vocabulary word, whatever the word might be, make sure you're actually applying it to your life. And whatever's going on in your life at that moment, apply it to your life, and then you'll be able to remember it later on a lot easier. Great question. Then Nas20 Bano says, which vocabulary books are good for self-study? I think I'll kind of talk about this one.
yeah.
So there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of vocabulary books. Again, for me personally, when I was studying Korean, I would go to the bookstore in Korea, and there were literally rows and rows and rows of vocabulary books. So to answer this question, there are tons of great English vocabulary books, books that as long as you get them and study them, you'll learn a lot. The problem comes in, though, when you don't have someone to help you. Like, you're just kind of reading words and you don't know how to apply those words to your everyday life. So I think any book is good to help you, but if you can find something that either has videos attached to it, videos that explain the vocabulary words from a native English speaker, explaining the vocabulary words and explaining situations where the vocabulary words can be used, I think that's the best bet, the best way for you to actually learn and retain. How about you? What do you think, Julie?
Yeah. To touch on that point, like I think that you absolutely need a context for vocabulary.
Mhm.
So it's not so
Mhm.
much about getting a book to study vocabulary, but you need a context to learn vocabulary in. So like
Yeah,
imagine for you guys, if you teach Tiffany and I like 100 random words in your
yeah,
language, we could learn the 100 words, but then if the words are unrelated or not in any context, we can't
yeah,
like go out and actually do anything with these words. We just have random words. So
yeah,
you need a context. So like you said, like in a conversation around a
yeah,
topic, I think this is
yeah,
honestly the only way to learn
yeah,
words. Like once you're past a beginner level, like obviously at a beginner level, you kind of learn, hi, how are you, so on, so on. But
yeah,
if you're trying to expand your vocabulary, you need a context and you need a topic
yeah.
that is realistic. This is
That's
really
true.
important.
That's a very good point. Very good point. Yeah. Another student came in, Irim, Irimluk. Irimi Luke says, I spend too much time. Man, this is another one that's a good one because, again, I'm just touching on my experience, guys, because you all know that I speak Korean and it took a long time to learn. I also experienced the same thing, getting up early in the morning, studying 3 and 4 hours, trying to memorize vocabulary words. And for many of you, you don't have the time to memorize vocabulary words, search for them, and then memorize them. So I think my advice is if you could find either a program or a specific book that deals with vocabulary words you need to learn for certain situations. And like Julie, you were mentioning, learning words in context. So if you're trying to learn words for business, find a business vocabulary book. Or if you're trying to find words for traveling, find a travel vocabulary book. It makes it easier to learn the words because they're kind of in groups, and it will
Yeah.
take less time to memorize them because in your brain, there'll be connections. And for those that have watched my YouTube videos, you'll know I always talk about triggers and having a trigger. Oh, traveling is a trigger that results in me remembering all of these other vocabulary words. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think that it's true that people spend a lot of time, and first of all, I respect people who spend a lot of time
Yeah,
trying to improve themselves. But I think like if you're spending so much time and you feel like, oh, I'm spending hours a day, and then at the end of the day, I don't remember anything or I remember a few things, then I would say to change your approach. So like
yeah,
spend less time, but focus on specific things. So like you said, if you want to learn about business, you could
yeah.
learn like 5 new expressions about business, and you could spend 2 hours on these 5 expressions. Like you can think of
Good
tons of
point.
examples. Yeah, and then at the end of like one day, you have 5 new expressions, and then you can go to work or you can talk to other people and you can use these. So for me, it's like quality over quantity. So if you spend more,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not necessarily going to mean that just because you spend 5, 10 hours that you're going to go away with hundreds of words in that time. So it's kind of
yeah.
like you, yeah, to filter the things you're learning a little bit and say like, okay, this is too much time and I'm not actually doing anything. So narrow down what you're trying to learn a little bit around the topic. I would
I like that. I like that. I totally agree. I totally agree. Another student came in and it said that sometimes she stammers and gets stuck. So like, you're learning a lot of vocabulary. I think with the stammering and getting stuck, like not being able to, I think what you're saying, this is Hinaamir, your name. I think what she's saying, what she's saying is yes, you may learn a lot of words, but when it's time to use those words, they either don't come out or you have trouble pronouncing them properly. And I think that goes back to first tying in or connecting to what Julie, you just said about learning words in context, whether it be 5 words or 10, learning those words, mastering them, and then using them in a situation. But then also it goes back to the stammering and getting stuck. I think one of the main things is that you're not able to see how these words are being used. And I say see because when you watch a movie, when you watch a YouTube video, you see another person who's a native English speaker actually using the word, you don't realize how amazing your brain is. Your brain starts to make the connection. So now you not only know the meaning, your brain has said, hey, yes, you know that meaning, but now I need to show you how you can actually use it and sound and emulate or kind of copy what you saw. So I think it's important to see visually, like in a video format, how the word is actually used, and that will kind of eliminate the amount of stammering. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. I think that like the difference between just studying like from a book and actually hearing vocabulary, there's a huge difference. Like in your head, you can do anything, right? You can imagine that you're doing anything. So you can imagine that you can use these words, but if you don't see them being used and then actually use them yourself, it's very different. So like if you're stammering and forgetting words, this could also be because you're nervous, right? And I think that the more you practice, the better you will become and the more confident you will become. And like even if you don't have anyone at home to practice with right away, a trick that I always tell my students is to record yourself speaking. Like you feel so silly. Like I myself have done it when I first became a teacher, and I felt like, oh my God, this is the worst. But you can, like, even if you record yourself talking about this topic, so you kind of have to organize it in a logical way. You're like, okay, I've learned these 5 new expressions about, let's say, business, okay, and then I'm gonna pretend that I'm in an interview, or I'm gonna pretend that I'm having a conversation with someone. You talk for as long as you can, even if it's a few minutes, and try to use these 5 new expressions in whatever you're saying, and then listen to it. And it's like you'll be surprised at how well you do. So I think that that's just a first step, obviously, to overcome stammering and so on. But of course, speaking with other people is the ideal situation, and listening to text again is definitely the way to go, I think.
Very true. Very good points. Very good points. Naz 20 Bano, he or she says, vocabulary books for advanced level, please. I'm so glad that you brought that out, that question or that comment, because actually Julie and myself, we focus mainly on intermediate and advanced level learners, which is why we're speaking at a normal pace, which is why we're using vocabulary and expressions that we would normally use in other conversations. Because what happens is, with advanced level learners and intermediate level learners, you all are at a certain level where you've learned a lot of book knowledge. You've gained a lot of book knowledge, a lot of grammar, and now you need to learn vocabulary that's actually used in real life by native English speakers. So when it comes to books, there are many different books, but the books that I have found, again, although they're amazing, the advanced level vocabulary books that I have seen are mainly focused on tests, like pass this test. So whether it be an IELTS test, which again is very important, or an OPIC test. For a lot of the students that I had in Korea were studying for the OPIC, the OPIC test. So a lot of the vocabulary words, yes, they were advanced, and yes, they are advanced. The problem is some of those words are not used in regular conversation. They're more like written English or words you'd use when you're writing an essay, when you're in college or in a business environment. So when students study those books and then they come to a real conversation, they're like, wait a minute, I don't know what you guys are saying, even though I'm an advanced level learner. So my advice, again, is to find a program that offers you video explanations of vocabulary words or expressions specifically that come from these natural English conversations. Think about it, guys. Julie and I have been talking for maybe about 20 minutes or so. And there have already been so many expressions or words that we have used naturally in our conversation, in a nutshell, or other things that we've used just naturally. You need to find a program that gives you those kind of expressions and vocabulary words. I don't know if you want to say anything, Julie, about that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And even as native English speakers, learning, let's say, high level or advanced vocabulary, there are a lot of words that we don't use or that we don't even know. So I'll give you an example, let's say, of medical English, okay? It's an example I give a lot of people. So if you get a vocabulary book, it will likely be organized. So let's say this unit is about healthcare or whatever, and you might find a lot of interesting new words. However, unless you work in the medical field, it's unlikely that you're actually going to use those words. So it's exactly what you said, that learning from a book is great if it's for a really specific purpose, like an exam, or for your job. But if you're trying to improve your vocabulary for having conversations, for becoming more confident, for moving abroad, for general everyday life, I think the approach is different, and it can't necessarily come from a book, because by the time a book is written and published and so on, like it doesn't appeal to every single person, and not every book is for everyone. So it's hard to give like one book and say this book is gonna make your vocabulary great. So
I agree. I agree. It's hard to do that. I totally agree. Someone said thank you for replying to their question. Sure, Naz20 Bano, our pleasure. Our pleasure. Again, guys, if you have questions, please pop them in the comment section. We are reviewing them. We're trying to answer your questions about vocabulary and how to learn vocabulary. I'm looking for another question from students. Let's see. There's a comment that's being made from How Sam Said Jop. You have to speak more than listen. I think if we apply this step like a habit, we'll improve our English and ears to have strong confidence with ourselves. Very true. It's important to speak a lot. It's important to listen. You have to listen first, and then you can speak after. So very good point. Very good point. If there's any other questions. Any other questions you guys have about vocabulary? If not right now, it's okay. We'll still continue speaking about it. Here we go. How can I practice if nobody is at home speaks in English? That's a good one.
It's a very good question.
You want to try to go first? Yeah.
Sorry?
Do you want to answer that one first, or?
Yeah, I can. And I also want to let you guys know that I'm not ignoring your questions or comments. They're coming at a different time, so I'm just letting Tiffany read them, and I will also respond. So yeah, if no one speaks English at home, there's a couple of different things you can do. Like I said, one of the things is record yourself. I know that it's not the same, but there are also a lot of programs online where you can speak with other people. It's also not the most comfortable to learn English with family members anyway, because I know a lot of my students try to practice with their husbands or their sisters, and like they speak in English for a few minutes and then they just naturally switch back to their own language because it's not comfortable. So learning with family members is great if they really want to learn as well, but it's hard. So even if no one speaks English at home, it's not a reason why you can't learn. So like obviously recording yourself is great for fluency, for pronunciation, for using the new words that you learned, and to build your own confidence. Like I told you guys, it's my first time going live and I was nervous. So I also have practiced recently with videos and so on and so on. So it's the exact same thing when you're speaking English. So this is the first step. And then you can join a course online or a class online because you guys have internet access, you're here. So I think that's a really great option as well.
I agree. I totally agree with all of the suggestions you gave. I really want to kind of piggyback or follow up is another expression for you guys. Piggyback or follow up, kind of add to what you said about recording yourself. I used that also with some of my students that are in one of my programs. And in the beginning, they were like, "Oh, it feels really weird, teacher, to record ourselves and hold the camera in front of ourselves." But within about 3 or 4 weeks, they started noticing an improvement. I knew it was going to work for them. Just like as teachers, we know the different things that'll work and help students out. But for them to see for themselves their improvement, they were able to go back to their previous videos and see, oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not making that same mistake. Now I'm improving, and they have more confidence. So even if you are by yourself, even if no one else in your country or in your household speaks English or study English, you can still get fluent. You can still improve your English. So that's definitely true. Definitely true.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just want to make one comment. I saw a couple of people asking, can we talk to ourselves? Like, so talking to yourselves, like having a full conversation, I would say is not, I guess it's unnatural. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't do it, but when we're saying record yourself, either film yourself or voice record yourself, I would
Yeah.
say to talk about a topic, like to speak naturally. Imagine that you're answering
Yeah.
a question, or imagine that you're giving a presentation rather than like a dialogue. So talking to yourself and having a dialogue, I guess it's still great for practice, but I would say to
Yeah.
focus more on fluency and pronunciation and vocabulary, because these are things that you can still practice a lot on your own.
Yeah.
And then when you do have the chance to talk to someone, you've kind of overcome the fear already. So you
Yeah.
feel better about it.
Very good point. Very good point. So I see the questions kind of slow down a little bit. Again, if you guys have questions, still keep them coming. But I want to kind of talk about what you and I have been discussing over the past several weeks. So, guys, again, as you hear the conversation that Julie and I were having right now about vocabulary, you see that over the last 10 years, we've both together taught thousands of students, and we've seen that vocabulary is one of the biggest issues students like you all experience, and especially for intermediate and advanced English learners. So we've been talking for several weeks trying to figure out a way to help you all, and we decided to come up with this membership called Weekly English Words Membership. And basically it's every single week giving you guys over 50 words, expressions, or idioms that come from natural English conversation. So I don't know, for you, Julie, why do you think it's so important for students every single week to learn a new word or to learn a new expression that comes from an English conversation, not just from a book? What do you think?
Yeah, so like we said before, if you learn a word like in isolation, you just memorize a word out of a dictionary or out of a book, the word has no meaning. There's nothing
Yeah.
attached to it. So learning in the context of a natural conversation, you learn so many things. So obviously you learn
Yeah.
how to use a word in a sentence, you learn the pronunciation, you learn what topic this word can be used with. There's so many things that you can learn. So I think that learning in a context or in a natural conversation gives meaning to a word or a
Yeah.
phrase or expression. So this is, I think, the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think it's kind of like it connects what you're learning with real life. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what students experience, that disconnect. Guys, for those that are watching, I did put the link so you guys can check it out if you're interested. There are a lot of previews. You guys can preview what it's all about. But yeah, I agree. It's about the connection. So when you're learning a word and if you immediately have something to connect it to, whether it be an experience or a conversation that was about a certain topic, it'll be a lot easier for you later on down the road to use that expression or that word. And I think in relation to what we were talking about with the consistency, so I've had students that have been my student for several months and then they stop. And they stop for a few months, whether it be a family issue or just work or something, and they come back maybe 3 or 4 months later. And instead of them advancing, they went backwards because there was a period of time where they weren't studying. So I think it's very important to be consistent every single week, even if it's not learning 90 words a week, but even if you're learning 5 words consistently every single week, there's something that happens in your brain and you can start building your own vocabulary bank. So I know that's what we were trying to do with the Weekly English Words membership. I don't know if you wanted to say anything about the conversation topics. I know we have a lot of different topics because everything is connected to the podcast. So we have a lot of different topics we chose. Do you want to talk about those topics?
Yeah. So like you said, honestly, it's really important. As you said, some of your students stopped and the progress that they made disappeared, or they even kind of moved backwards a little bit. Like if you look at learning English kind of like exercising, consistency is super important. So if you exercise and then you stop exercising for 6 months,
Yeah.
obviously you're not going to see the same progress and the same results. So it's exactly the same with learning new vocabulary. It's not just like, okay, you study vocabulary for a few weeks or for a few months, and then you're magically going to have all of these words forever. So
Exactly.
you need to be consistent. So with this in mind, we have in the weekly English Words membership, we have so many different topics. So there's business, there's culture. We're also going to
Yeah.
talk about specifically tips for learning English.
Yeah.
Um, And you need a variety of topics. Like you can't just learn and study
Yeah.
about one thing, because then
Yeah.
when you have a conversation, what happens when someone asks you about another topic? And you might be
Exactly.
like an expert on talking about your country, which is great. I know it's a topic that everyone kind of starts with, but then if
Exactly.
you transition into work, like, so what do you do for work? And you start talking about work and you don't have anything
Exactly.
to say, like you'll just freeze, right? So the membership is amazing because every week there are two brand new podcasts, and every single podcast has a ton of video lessons with
Yeah.
me explaining the words, and you can rewatch as many times as you want. You can practice your listening. Like it has all of the elements that you need to actually
Yeah.
improve your vocabulary. And it's not just words; it's a lot of
Yeah.
idioms and expressions, which I think is what a lot of you guys are missing. Um, yeah.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree. I think honestly, you wrapped everything up really well in relation to how the course, how the membership is set up. I do want to. I was trying to open it up on my computer screen because I know people are probably curious. Like, wait a minute. Well, with this membership, what does it really look like? So, guys, again, as Julie was explaining, we both have a passion for helping you all improve your vocabulary and gain confidence in your English fluency. And this membership will help you do that. But you also can get a preview, guys. Like you can go to the website, weeklyenglishwords.com. Again, I put it in the comment section and I'll put it there again. You guys can go to weeklyenglishwords.com and you can check it out. I'm going to change my camera around to see if I can show it to you guys. Hold on. This is real time. Hold on, guys. So this is my computer. This is the Weekly English Words website. That's me. But if you scroll down, you see Teacher Julie right there. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see right here course curriculum, and you'll see it says preview. So you guys can go there right now, and you can actually see what it looks like. So if I hit preview right here for episode 69, you'll see a whole nother screen pops up, and I can click right here, and I can see all of these video explanations on the left. So maybe you don't know what the word simmer means. If I click that, who pops up? Teacher Julie right there. And she actually will start explaining what the word means. So again, that's the point, guys, as we were talking about. When it comes to vocabulary and expressions, it's so important to learn new ones every single week, but from an actual conversation. So the whole purpose of the membership is to help you guys every single week on a consistent basis. So that's the main reason why we wanted to work together on this project. Now I'm going to open the floor again. Students, if you guys have any questions about it, again, it's called weeklyenglishwords.com. And it literally is going to be a way for you to learn more than 50 new words and expressions every single week, but all of them come from natural English conversation. So I didn't know if you want to say anything else about that, Julie.
Yeah, I really encourage you guys. The website again is weeklyenglishwords.com. Someone just asked. Maybe you can type it and pin it at
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, you guys will have the first podcast and 30, I think 30 or 20 some odd lessons for free.
Yep.
So you can go there and get an idea of what it will look like. So every single week there will be 2 new podcasts, and all of these lessons, there's also a PDF. So like Tiffany said, also it's important to continue to keep going. So we are giving you like more than 50 words every single week. You don't necessarily have to learn the 50 words every single week. But we just want to make sure that you never run out of vocabulary, expressions, and phrases. So like, even if you focus on 5 or 10 to start, that's absolutely fine. You can go back and you can study at your own pace, and this is really important as well. Like, I think with a book, when the book is finished, it's finished, and there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we want to keep it really fresh for you guys and give you relevant and interesting topics. So the topics are always going to change. The words are never going to be the same. And you can literally take them from the lesson and then go out and have a conversation and use them. So that's kind of the goal of this whole thing. And yeah, I think our conversations are interesting as well. You can learn a couple of
I think we have great conversations too. I love the point you made about a book. Books are amazing, but again, when you guys are getting intermediate and advanced English learners, a book will come to an end. But the purpose of this membership, like you mentioned, Julie, it's not going to end. Every single week, you're going to get brand new words, brand new expressions that are connected to a topic that is spoken about by two native English speakers. And yeah, like you said, the conversations, guys, we have a great time. So you'll learn a lot, and you'll also, you may laugh, you'll take a lot of notes because we're talking about real topics. So, for example, some of the topics that we're going to discuss are dealing with business English, like how to pass an interview, why are interviews so difficult, or how to write a CV. We talk about what it means to live abroad and how to adapt to another culture. Because again, Julie has lived abroad for 10 years. I lived abroad for 10 years as an English teacher as well. So we've experienced what it's like to live in another culture. So we can give you guys tips for those of you that are looking to maybe move to America or Canada or Europe or another native English speaking country. There's a lot of things you need to know before, not just English words. You need to learn about culture, like Western culture. So the podcasts are something that you're already getting, all that information. And then on top of that, the weekly English Words membership explains the words and expressions that we use during these podcast episodes. So you already have that connection. You'll already be able to use them in real life because you've learned them in context. So yeah, honestly, I'm excited. You always, when you create something, you're excited about it. But I think this is one of the products or memberships that I've been the most excited about because of the potential it has to help so many students take away the frustration. I don't know for you, Julie, have you had students that have experienced frustration because of vocabulary and told you about their frustrations and stress they've experienced?
Yes. Yes, I think that's actually one of the biggest issues that people have. So, like, I think, again, there are different parts to learning English, and of course, grammar is important and so on, but these are rules that you can learn, and vocabulary is kind of endless or limitless. So the more vocabulary that you have, the more conversations that you can have, and the more topics you can talk about, and the more people you can meet. And I think the frustration comes when people run out of vocabulary, and they, like I said, a lot of amazing students I've had, their English level is quite good. Like in class, we talk and they're fine, and then they go to a social setting, and there is a limit to the conversation. They're frustrated because they tell me, like, the beginning is okay. We introduce ourselves, we make a little bit of conversation, there's a few questions, and then that's it. Like, they're quiet and they just nod along, and it's like a missed opportunity for them. And that's frustrating because they're missing the tools that they need to continue communicating. And like the whole purpose of learning a language is to communicate, right? So to understand people and to make sure people understand you. So I think that's the idea behind this membership, is to actually make that happen and to keep it going. So it's like you can get as much out of it as you put into it. So you can study as much as you want. Like, there's not going to be a limit, and it's not going to finish in a period of time. So yeah, I think by the end you should be able to talk about pretty much everything.
I think so. I think another comment came through from, it's DEHLUI, Louis, says some teachers just teach vocabulary and forget to teach about conversation skills. Very good point. So there are many amazing English teachers, but remember, each teacher has a different focus. So one teacher's focus may just be vocabulary, while another teacher's focus may just be conversation skills. What Julie and I have tried to do is combine the two. We understand the importance of being able to use vocabulary properly, but we also know the equal importance that is attached to being able to have a good conversation. So, Dehui, that was a very good point. We're trying to connect the two. Good conversation skills and being able to use vocabulary and expressions properly. And a few comments have come through that said, teacher, please speak slowly. So here's the thing, guys. Remember, the point is we're focused on intermediate and advanced English learners. And Julie and I were speaking, I have to be honest, I think both of us are still speaking a little bit slower than we would in a conversation with, I think we both said, we're speaking slower than we would with, if no one else was watching us, we could speak faster. So the thing is, I get it, guys. When I was learning Korean, I totally understand. It's very difficult when you're listening and someone starts speaking a little faster. But the only way you improve your listening skills is by listening to someone speaking at a faster pace. So don't stress. Don't be worried. Keep listening. But again, with the membership, the Weekly English Words membership, it'll also help with your listening skills because the conversations are literally between two native English speakers. There's no slowing down. Everything, again, you can understand it, but there may be some times where you don't understand certain things. You just pause and rewind. But you also have the added reassurance that the words and expressions that were used, you have the video explanations where teacher Julie explains those expressions and those vocabulary words, and she explains them very clearly. So again, don't be frustrated when you hear someone talking in English and it's too fast. Become a member of the Weekly Words, English Words membership, and your listening will improve, and you'll learn a lot of new words. I want to tell this story real quick. So one of my students, so some of you said story time. Here's your story time, guys. Story time. There you go. One of my,
I'm not gonna.
one of my students, I've been teaching similar to what we're trying to do with this Weekly English Words membership. One of my other students, I was using the same method with her and some other students, and each week I teach them new expressions, new English words that came from natural English conversations. And, you know, in the beginning, of course, a lot of brand new words, brand new expressions, and it was a little bit difficult at first, but then they started using them in context because we were studying them based on the topic. Fast forward maybe about a month, and I continue to still get messages from her. When she's reading a book, when she's watching a movie, when she sees a TV program, she's like, oh my goodness, Tiffany, what we learned in class, those natural English expressions and words, I see them in books. I hear them when I watch TV, when I watch movies, and it's all because the way that I'm teaching those things to them, based on natural English conversations and based on real words that we use. So the same is applied to what Julie and I are talking about with the Weekly English Words membership. You guys can experience the same freedom because you'll learn words and expressions actually used in real life and not just from a book. So yeah, when I get those messages, I'm always excited because that's the purpose. We just want to help you all gain confidence in your English fluency and enjoy the process. Like, it doesn't have to be boring. So yeah.
To add one thing. I really want to stress, just to touch on your last point, that you're also going to get so much listening practice. And obviously right now, I know that some of you guys think we're talking a little bit fast, which is fair enough. But in the membership, you can pause and you can go back and you can rewatch the videos. And that's the whole point. Like, it's not magic. It's not that you have to watch the video once, understand everything, you're done, and move on to the next lesson. As I said, like, spend as much time as you need, and there are video explanations for every single word, and they're very short, so you can rewatch them 3, 4, 5, 6 times, as many times as you want. You can pause them, you can make notes. But I think that the membership, the Weekly English Words membership, is equally about listening and vocabulary. So you're going to get so much. And I think after speaking, listening is the second best thing if you don't have anyone to talk to at home. If you listen, it's going to help you so much. So I think listening is also a huge part of it, if you guys are worried about that. So
I totally agree with you. Yeah, thank you so much for emphasizing that point. I think that's really, really impressive too. It'll improve their English listening skills. Well, guys, I think that's the main thing we wanted to tell you all today. Honestly, we want to encourage you. Like, I think you guys are very very aware of how passionate, not just me, but Julie is about helping you guys reach your goals. Literally, it's our life because this is, our profession is to help you guys speak English with confidence. We're going to bring it to a close, but I wanted to know, does anyone have any other questions? Maybe a question about the Weekly English Words membership, maybe something you didn't understand. I see all the nice comments coming through. You guys love Julie. You guys love me. We love you too. Any questions you guys have? Someone said, where are you from? I'm from America. Julie, you are from?
I'm from Canada, from Toronto.
Canada. So we're not far from each other. Well, when we're in the same
right now,
continent, but yeah. Someone said, please don't go. I know we do want to help you guys, but the only thing is we actually have to go so we can prepare the rest of the information for the Weekly English Words membership. But any questions you guys may have, what can I do to become a member? Sure, Lice_Urbano. All you have to do is click the link. I posted the link and I'm posting again right now, weeklyenglishwords.com. Go to that, hit that link and go there now. And again, I want you guys to first look at the preview lesson. Again, the purpose is for you all to understand the benefit of this membership. And we provided so many lessons that are for free preview. So episode 69, you'll see that. When you hit preview, you'll be able to preview about 20 or 22 different video explanation lessons. So you can go there right now and check it out. Let me see. Anybody else have a question about it? How long is the membership? Very good question. Buyer, I think Bear, SXNK. Yes, so the membership, it's a monthly membership. As long as you are a member, you have access to everything in the membership. So think about it like Netflix or Disney Plus for those that have that for your kids. Literally, as long as you're a monthly member, so once you sign up and enroll, you're up as a student, you're automatically going to be renewed every single month. But you can cancel at any time. So as long as you're an active member and your membership is active, you have access to everything. And remember, every week we are updating it with about over 50 videos every single week. And like Julie mentioned earlier, that does not mean you have to memorize everything in 1 week. She also gives tips on how to memorize and learn certain words as you're studying. But again, as long as you're a member, as long as you're an active member, you have access to everything. But you can cancel at any time. I don't see you guys canceling anytime soon because, again, every week you're learning new expressions that you're not going to get this anywhere else on the internet. We've both been teachers for over 10 years, so collectively that's 20 years, and I haven't seen this anywhere on the internet, especially for intermediate and advanced level learners. So let's see. Go ahead, Julie.
I think also what makes it special, what makes it really special is that it's continuous. Like we said, being consistent is so important. So it's not a membership where it's not a course that has an end. So you can stay as long as you want. And if you keep self-improving, that's amazing. Like we are going to keep updating it every single week. So as long as you're a member, there will be so much information, so many new words, expressions. Yeah.
I agree. Romulo _Rock says $20. Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. We had a long discussion about how much to charge for, because if you think about it, a vocabulary book, you can easily spend $30 for a vocabulary book, easily, if you want a good vocabulary book. But that's one time, and once the book is done, it's done. And they're not up to date. They're not, connected to a conversation. So Julie and I decided that $20 a month. So that means in 1 month, you're getting literally over 200 video explanations plus it's going to be 8 different conversations, all for $20. Yeah. It's kind of a no-brainer. I think it's the best.
Yeah, like I think when we were discussing about the price, we were looking at, even if you guys think about the cost of one lesson, one lesson in Dubai costs much more than $28. Obviously, it depends on where you are, but we want to provide value to you that you can actually benefit from and that you can learn from. Like, we really believe in what we're doing. And I think the show, when you see the preview, please watch the preview. It's amazing. So watch it. And I think, the price is very good.
I agree. The price is amazing. I think so too. We also decided too, so some of you may want to pay for a full year, right? Maybe you say, well, I don't want to pay every month. I just want to pay one time for the year and have access. We decided to add that as well. And if you decide to sign up for the full year, you get an even cheaper price. So if you decide to sign up for a full year, it kind of equals to about maybe around $16 a month. So if you pay one time for the full year, it equates or it equals you paying $16 a month, which is even cheaper than $20 a month. So again, guys, our main goal is helping you reach your goal. So we're not trying to require you to pay $500 a month. No, we just want to help you guys. So we hope that you guys enjoy it. I see that some other questions came through. Hold on one second. I don't know if you see any questions on your side, but let me see.
They've stopped for me.
Okay. Someone said the topic. For those that came in a little bit later, we're talking about vocabulary and how to learn vocabulary and expressions in English. So we're talking about a membership that we started that we would like you all to be a part of. How we pay if we don't have a Visa card. So the only thing, a credit card is required because it's a recurring payment, and the system wants to make sure all of your information is secure because there are students from all around the world. Countries in Africa, Dubai included, as far as countries. There's so many students from around the world signing up, so the credit card is required because of protecting your secure information. So let's see. All right, I think that was the last question. Again, I'll put the link once again in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really honored to be working with Julie on this project.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be great. I think Nebi, Yeva, AC. Sure, you can join. All you have to do is hit that link. Cuba, yeah, as long as you're... Say again?
I said you can join from anywhere. I think you just need to have a card to make the payment, but you can join. And you can even go watch the first lesson for free, even if you don't have a card. At least go watch the lesson and learn something from that. So
I agree. I agree. That's true. Yes, guys, if you're not able to join, still watch the preview like Julie said. Thank you so much, guys, for spending so much time with us this morning. Julie, I enjoyed the conversation, and if you have any last words, you're welcome to, and if not...
No, I think that's it. The Weekly Words membership is amazing, honestly, so just go check it out and share it with other people as well who you think will benefit from it. Yeah, and I hope you guys like it as much as we like it.
Good stuff. I agree. I agree. Well, again, guys, thank you so much. Please check out the Weekly English Words membership by going to www.weeklyenglishwords.com. One more time, weeklyenglishwords.com. All right, guys, see you next time. All right, Julie, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.